So here we have the circuit board and the chassis pulled out of the Frontman 15 that I picked up off of Craigslist, and I've disconnected where the high voltage is coming in from where it connects to the circuit board. Disconnected the speaker, put a new fuse in, and just looking at the wiring coming in, the hot side from the plug actually connects to the switch and then goes to the fuse. I've seen several resources, the Guitologist, D-Lab, and a couple of others that said normally the hot side goes directly to the fuse first and then to the switch. The other thing I tested was this J111 transistor, and I don't think this one is actually bad. What might be the issue is this TDA 2050 here. I can desolder this from the board so that I can test the pins to make sure that there's no continuity between the back plate and any of the other pins other than pin 3, which is the middle one, the middle long one here. There's only supposed to be continuity between that pin 3 and the back plate. One of the other things I'm going to test to make sure I've got the proper voltage and make sure that the center tap is as it should be. Now I'm going to take some measurements. So we have 121.4 volts AC coming in. Okay, so now we're going to check the high voltage. Put red on the center tap. We should have. So we've got 18.26 and 18.26. So we should have about 36.5 on the two yellows. 36.4. Okay, so the power supply is good. The next thing to do is get that TDA 2050 off the board so that I can test those pins and make sure it's not that chip. So I flipped the board over, and these 5 pins are what I'm going to be desoldering so that I can take that chip off the board to test and replace if it's bad. I have my cordless Bernzomatic soldering iron. I'm just going to let the tip heat up a bit. If you've got one of these, make sure you're doing it in a well ventilated room. Just going to tin the tip here. And we're just going to go through and gently, warm all of these up and gently try and rock it back and forth. Almost. It's coming. What you want to do is just prop the end of the board up a bit, just so you have some play underneath. And you can wiggle it back and forth as you're getting all this solder off. There we go. And that's the back, and that's the front. So now we can do some testing on this once it cools down. Okay, so here we are. We've got our TDA 2050 We've got our meter. We're just going to put it in continuity mode. And we want to make sure that there's no continuity between the back plate, and the only continuity should be in pin 3. There's the continuity, pin 4. Oh, so that's the problem. There should only be continuity on pin 3. I've got my new shipment here. Let's pull one of these guys. Pull one out. We're going to test the continuity on the new one. Now that's one of the reasons why I've got several of these. So again, the third pin should only be the one with continuity. You see our fourth pin doesn't have continuity. Our fifth pin, neither our second pin or the first one. Only the third pin should. And if we go back to the original, the fourth also has, which means this is a bad chip. So we're going to change this chip, put in a new one, and then put it all back together and fire it up.